Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. Um, this is going to be a 2023 wrap up. Hello there. 2023 preseason wrap up of pretty much anything and everything, just news and notes. I'm going to go through a whole bunch of terrible stuff. Whatever hits me. I don't know how long this video is going to last. If you like some of the information, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. One thing that's kind of bugging me in the NFL currently is that the preseason games are being canceled because somebody gets hurt. It's not just somebody dying on the field. It's just because somebody gets carted off on a bodyboard. I love the NFL. I love fantasy football. But I'm already so sick of how it's played. This is going to be the tipping point for me just to be done with this. It's a bad enough product the way it is. You have more commercials currently watching a game. I can't even watch a game live anymore. I record everything, fast forward through everything. Note to NFL, if you want people to actually watch some of the game, get it off of 35-second play clock because I literally hit 15, watch on YouTube TV, hit it 15 seconds twice, gets me 30 seconds gone. And basically, as soon as the play's over, I do that. I catch 3 to 5 seconds of play clock and boom, then I go again. So then I watch basically every game. I literally can't stand watching the garbage. It takes so long to play. I mean, I'm a fat guy, old guy now, and I could play in the NFL because these guys aren't in shape because they never do any damn running. They don't work out. I can't say that. I mean, and what's the deal with the surface of the field? Because, basically you have about, seems like every 4 to 5 weeks, somebody blowing out an Achilles. I remember when Billy Sims did it and nobody knew what the hell an Achilles tendon was at that point. And now you have one blown out virtually every other week. It's the field surface. There's nothing else. Either that or it's the training. It's one of the two things. So that's got to be rectified. You say you want player safety, but then you want to adhere to 53-man rosters. Bump up the damn limit to 80 players. Then have your practice squad. Make a 6-person rookie squad like you have. And then you have a 10-person just regular practice squad. So that way, if somebody gets injured, 2 or 3 guys are in concussion protocol. You don't have to rush them back. You pull guys who are already in your playbook, have been there through the whole preseason, so you don't have to make even these stupid cuts. Just make it right, do the right thing. The product already sucks, and it's getting worse. I mean, I'm so sick of anytime somebody hits somebody hard, you can't see a hard hit. You can't, a tackler, you can't hit a guy high. You can't hit a guy low. You can't hit a guy hard. You can't land on a guy. What the hell are you supposed to do? Oh, that's right. And you can't grab them and toss them to the ground, sling them because you just grab some jersey. You can't grab the backside of the jersey at all anymore because now that's a horse collar, even though the rule states you have to have your hands inside the shoulder pads and pull directly backwards. Nope. Now somebody grabs the shoulder edge, and if it's slightly on the backside, now that's a horse collar in 15 seconds or 15 yards. The other thing that really pisses me off is just protecting the quarterbacks with the slide. If you're going to find a guy every 15 yards for, and the flinching rule for hitting a quarterback when he slides, mark the fucking quarterback where he starts to slide. You see guys with their 3-yard slide, and they mark it at the end of the fucking slide. That's not even where they started the slide. They throw their head back. If a quarterback throws their head back and they continue to run, that should be a 15-yard penalty on the quarterback because you have to hold up. Now that gives him the advantage. So anytime they do that, that should be a 15-yard penalty. Same thing on the damn sidelines. Also, if again, you're a cornerback or a safety, you're a linebacker, somebody's coming across the middle. If your head level is here and you duck like that, I call it the flinching rule, right? If you change the level of your head as you're catching a ball to protect yourself, they already can't hit you hard. You know that. Why the hell are you flinching? Just catch the damn ball and make a move. So if you change the position of your head, you're the one in essence causing the strike to his head, actually, the other person's head. So it's actually your fault. you should be penalized as the offensive player for changing the level of your head, and you should get a 15-yard penalty, not the defender. Some of the things that are really pissing me off about the NFL and watching it right now, and it's going to make me not watch the game here real quick. So let's get on to some actual news and notes. There, I vented, I ranted. Woo! Okay, so let's get on here. So let's see if I have any slides here that say anything. Yeah, we got the whole Jets saga with Aaron Rodgers and them being on HBO and blah, blah, blah. Don't care, over it, been over it for a long time. With Cook signing there now, I mean, it's really, who cares? I mean, it's just pump up New York, talk about New York, pump up Rodgers. Who cares? They're not going to be the best team. I even have a bet out there that a buddy of mine said that he had the Jets and Detroit in the Super Bowl, and I said I will bet you that one of the two teams does not make the playoffs. So could be the Jets, could be the Lions. I don't know. I mean, I think the Jets are at best the third best team in that division. So who knows? Boy, I got excited about that rant. Holy shit, biscuits, right? So let's go through a little bit of news here real quick before I get cranked up a little bit. Vikings signed TJ Hawkinson to a long-term contract today as one of the big news items. So he's going to be in Minnesota supposedly until 2027. We all know that even a contract like that is not a guarantee through 27. It's probably only through 26 based on how they front end and the guaranteed money works and the cap hits and stuff like that. Haven't taken a look at that one. Let's see. Rodgers, looking directly at ESPN's site for news articles. New England signs back 3 quarterbacks. Yay, to back up Mac Jones. Let's see here. Cooper Kupp had his hamstring slid back. He had a setback with his hamstring. So we have that news. One of the good ones. And whatever. So that's kind of what we're looking at this point. Let's see here. Any other good news? The Jonathan Taylor saga. We had our... I think there's some more pictures here. Let's go through here. The Trey Lance got traded to Dallas, so we all know that by now, or we should. So the question is does this really actually put any pressure on Dak, right? So I really don't think it does. Lance probably is 2 years out from starting. The big question is Dallas going to re-sign him after this year, use a 5th-year option on him to keep him, or is he going to become a free agent and then probably sign with the Vikings at a discounted price? I don't know. I mean, I would love to see that basically happen, him be behind Dak for a year, re-sign Cousins in Minnesota, and then to have Lance play in Minnesota in 2 years. So have 2 more years of Cousins, and that would be a pretty nice situation, I think, for Minnesota to be in. So that's kind of that deal. We think here Brock Purdy seems to be pretty healthy. There you go. How about that? All right, let's go to the next slide. What the hell? Zeke in New England. Ramondre Stevenson, you guys all got counterfeited on your guide there. So in fantasy, so we like that. I don't have any shares of them. I don't care. I stayed away from the New England backfield just because of how volatile it is every year. Even if you think you got it pegged for who's going to be the guy, you throw in the crazy Ivan, or as I like to say, the Rex Burkhead weekend, where Burkhead gets all the touches, all the touchdown touches, every catch, every rush, and he gets 30 points twice a year for no apparent reason. The crazy Ivan, or the Rex Burkhead New England Patriots maneuver. It is surprising, though, that Dak, nobody has signed back with Pollard to back up Pollard as far as the backfield. I don't think that they have requisite running backs there, so that might wind up being an issue for them going down the line. We still do have the issues with Fournette, and we also have the issue with Hunt, because they're both unsigned. Melvin Gordon again got cut. I think he just got re-signed back to the Baltimore's practice squad. But you're that type of age of a back, you are basically done at that point. He couldn't get off of Kansas City's practice squad last year. Don't expect him to do it this year, unless they have to for injury reasons. Jonathan Taylor, the saga continues, right? So they put him on the pup last night in Wednesday. I got a few shares of Deion Jackson. I didn't even go Brett or Hull because I had Jackson last year. He put up some nice numbers preseason. It looks like he's solidly the number 2 guy. If he is not in your league on a roster, go pick up Deion Jackson because he should be valuable for at least 4 weeks. If nothing else, pick him up so you can trade him after week 1, after he has a nice showing. Do that. This is one of the things too that's bugging me right now with the MFL. Over half the teams do not have their trading or draft picks open at this point because of some decisions that they've made, and it's going to be one of the things that I may think about leaving the league just because it's a glorified keeper league. It's not really dynasty because you're not trading draft picks. You're not assessing massive amounts of draft capital, and people aren't able to move draft capital, so you wind up getting pennies on the dollar for guys for making great decisions, and guys just won't trade. I put out a nice trade today, and a guy said he doesn't know if he's going to be in the league next year, so he doesn't want to give up a second round pick. And the powers that be have not let anybody know what would be a tradable team, what would not be a tradable team, or a sellable team in the future. So they just nobody just has any of their future picks, and it makes it very difficult to actually trade like you're supposed to be able to trade in a dynasty league. But with that being said, Deion Jackson, hot prospect. Hunt, I think Hunt is actually going to wind up signing here in Indianapolis. I think Fournette might wind up signing in Miami or Dallas. So those two, there's 3 spots open right there for 2 running backs. We'll see how it winds up playing out. With the injury to Jeff Wilson going on the IR, with A-Chain being hurt with his shoulder, I think that Miami was looking for a running back with Dalvin Cook, and they didn't get him, and now they're in a position where they have to count on Raheem Mostert to be the healthiest he's ever been in his life. I just don't see that coming. So there you go. This video is kind of good. It's just kind of a throw together video real quick, and I'm just using literally the same slides that I did the last video. So some other guys like Matt Stafford, they're crying about he doesn't get the younger players. Well, wasn't that the same case with Rodgers last year? Now he went to a different team. So look for Stafford to be on a different team next year. Tyler Higbee is one of my big breakout guys. So him, as far as tight ends, I've kind of gotten down to 3 or 4. I mean, the rookies, you got Kincaid, you have Laporta, Musgrave, and then Higbee and Schultz and Ferguson are basically the guys that I'm going after almost everywhere in every league. So that's kind of that situation. Once again, Michael Thomas shows up, and the reason he shows up is because it sounds like he's going to be healthy. We got a little bit of a clarification as far as why he would not heal. Apparently, his body was rejecting the metal rods that were placed in his feet to help him, his feet and his ankle, to help him heal. So that's never a good situation if that happens. He's like one of 0.1% of people who this happens to, and apparently it happened with his toe injury and his ankle injury. So you got that going for you. But it sounds like he's fully healed. I'll look for a big year from him. I've got a couple shares of him that I grabbed off the scrap heap, and hopefully that'll help propel me into some playoff positioning and see if I can get lucky and roll or vie for a championship. Which also brings us here a couple other things. We still got the Kamara suspension. Kendra Miller came back, looked good. Jamal, I just call him Junk Williams in New Orleans because I think he's the junk player. A lot of people put a lot of value in it. Don't Don't be fooled by what his numbers were last year. It's not going to be even close to that this year. All right, so let's keep on rolling. Excuse me, Ferguson there. So I don't think we really have any good news on him. Let's scroll down. The Hawkinson news. Purdy, Pickett, and Pickens had a pretty good preseason. We'll see if it translates till next year. Um, oh yes, Josh Jacobs is back in Vegas. So you also want to make sure that if you have any shares of Zamir White, bye bye. I still think he's the best fullback. He was the best fullback prospect in last year's draft. That's what I always said. So I can't say that he's the best fullback in the NFL because there are some really good fullbacks. So let's see if oh no, that's going to be that portion of that video. So let's see here. Anything else? Right now, I am loading up and looking at getting rid of some players. Zach Evans is one of the rookies. McBride already cut in one league. I've traded a few shares of him already that I had to draft. But it's kicker and defense time. We're getting right there for the kickers and defenses. So one or a couple of the guys I always do is when I look for a kicker a kicker in particular, and I've said this in a couple other videos, I like high scoring teams, but not great quarterbacks. Great quarterbacks get you into the end zone too much. I mean, 5 PATs is only 5 points. You know, you'd like 5 touchdowns, yes, but you want 2 field goals with that, every week. So, with that being said, that's one part of it. I like warm weather kickers. I also love indoor kickers. An indoor kicker on preferably even a bad team, like with a bad quarterback, like Atlanta would be a good one, and he's a good kicker. So, I mean, you just think about that. If they get within the 40-yard line, you're looking at a 50-yard field goal. 3 times a game, that's 9 points. Boom. Plus you get yardage in the MFL, so that's actually more than 9 points. It's 10 some, 11 some points, just on 3 field goals. So one of the reasons why I actually do that. If you're looking for a sleeper defense, there's one defense that I am liking as far as for week 1 coming up. It's the Minnesota Vikings against Tampa Bay. They don't have a good running scheme. I mean, White's going to be the running back. Sean Tucker's not going to be the full-time running back. They've got some quality wide receivers, but they've got a terrible quarterback. Their offense, they don't really know what they're running. They're trying to figure out if they even want to go to Trask over Baker Mayfield. So the Vikings are going to be doing some exotic blitzes with no tape on them. So Baker Mayfield, I highly doubt, is going to figure them out. I think that, he might get lucky once or twice on a blitz, and the Vikings with a new defense might blow a blitz, give up a few big plays. But I think by and large, you can maybe count on 2 interceptions and 3 to 5 sacks from the Vikings, being that Daniil Hunter is going to be healthy week 1 and all the other guys. So I think it could be a nice point game for the Vikings. You're going to want to get rid of them after that week. But so we pick them up Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and go from there. So that's kind of one of my last little tips here. Let me see if I've got anything else going here on the whole NFL before I sign off. Josh Jacobs, I covered him slightly a little bit. Kelsey, Allen. Yeah, there's pretty much not much more. I mean, we got to find out how Breece Hall is actually going to be used in New York along with Cook. I think that's one of the big dilemmas this year. I know that Gibbs is kind of a timeshare, but he really isn't. So we got all that happening. And let's see here. Oh, the Packers are in talks. Packers and Miami are in talks with Indianapolis for Jonathan Taylor. So I guess that's going to be most of the news here. So I don't think I really have anything else. If there's something you want me to cover or my opinions on something stupid, I can definitely oblige you with that. But that's really what we have for this. I'm scrolling down here just to double check. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. Put some comments down there. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like me to cover. Give me some hints on some stuff that might make this a little fresher. This is just an off-the-cuff, real quick one. I hadn't posted anything in almost a week, so just wanted to get something out there. All right, I think I'm just going to sign off from here. So until next time, take care from J&J Dynasty.